What's up, everybody? This is Raphael Garcia again, back with the March 8th edition of the MMA Ratings Podcast. Just want to say thank you for spending some time with us this Sunday morning. I hope you are all having a great weekend. We actually don't have a lot to talk about this week. It was a pretty slow week in the world of combat sports. There was a pretty good boxing match last night, but there were no major MMA events. So basically, what I'm gonna do today is I'm trying to look forward to UFC 185, which is this coming Saturday, the 14th. Talk about that event, and just some of the other things that happened over the week. There were some minor news stories like the Ben Saunders injury that's forcing him out of the fight with Eric Silva, and that pretty much sucks because that would have been a big fight for both of them actually because Saunders is looking very good since coming back to the UFC. He's 2-0, and Eric Silva would have been a tough opponent for him to see if he still has it, especially with Silva's fighting style. You know, the UFC is still trying to build Silva up into someone who is a viable star, but he just hasn't been able to do it against the bigger names. So this is kind of like a step up without it being a big step up for him. So that was a fight I'm looking forward to, but unfortunately it's not going to happen now. It'll be interesting to see who they decide to fill that slot with. I'm not sure who's really available right now, but hell, maybe Vincent Henderson will step up to another welterweight fight on short notice. But I'm looking forward to seeing who they do have to take that spot. Probably one of the more interesting pieces of news that came out this week was that Bobby Lawler is opening up as an underdog against Roy McDonald, which is pretty interesting because obviously he had he has the victory over McDonald. So that kind of shocks me. I know, I guess people are really putting stock in how much better McDonald has gotten over the last few years or so. But yeah, that's pretty interesting that the challenger is coming in as a favorite and against the champion in a fight in which the challenger has already been defeated one time. So we'll see what happens with that line. It'll probably fluctuate and change between now and then. I'm sure it'll bounce around between now and that point in time. You know, the fight's not for another few months. The fight at UFC 189 is when they're fighting, so we still got some time before that event, and we'll see what that what that what those odds do. What else do we have this weekend? Adrian Broner and John Molina Jr. fought. I'm not sure if there's a lot of boxing fans here, but it was a pretty big bout there. Broner is someone who's trying to kind of turn his career around after being knocked out a couple years ago. So he did a good job last night against Molina. He took the unanimous decision. The judges had it 120, 108 twice, and then 118, 110. So he definitely did what he needed to do to get that victory there. He's always compared to Floyd Mayweather, but obviously he's not in that category yet. So we'll just see what that guy keeps doing as he gets better with age. What else happened? So that was probably like the biggest combat sports news from the last 7 days. We're still kind of reeling off of Ronda Rousey's win. Kind of gotten a little bit more quiet about that, but we talked about that during last week's show. So let's look forward to the next UFC event, which is UFC 185, which features another night with two title fights. Anthony Pettis defends against Rafael Dos and Carla Esparza against Joanna. I'm not even going to try to say her last name. So we're going to look at the fights and go down from there and talk about what we see. First and foremost, this is a nice card. I know people were complaining about UFC 184 as that day fell apart, but this is a very good card that could definitely do some good numbers. At the top, you have Pettis and Dos Anjos, and I expect Pettis to take the win here. He just has too many different ways he can win. He is definitely the better striker of the two, and he has a good ground game. Although Dos Anjos is a high level black belt on the ground, so I don't expect to see him get submitted by Pettis anyway. But I just don't see him being able to deal with Pettis' variety and attack. And even though Dos Anjos is probably going to go in there and try to take the champion down, I just don't see that happening. His wrestling has gotten better, but it hasn't gotten that much better to where he's able to go in there and take guys down at will. So we'll just have to see what happens. There's always that Hail Mary chant in MMA. We've seen it happen before. So that seems to be the plan with Dos Anjos coming in. But I'm going to take Pettis in the main event of the night. Carla, as far as I expect her to successfully defend her title as well. I actually thought that Joanna lost to Cordelia when they fought a couple months back, but like the judges saw it the other way. I expect as far as the two hold the belt. I thought that Cordelia was the only woman in the division right now that could defeat her, unless they bring in Jessica Aguilar from World Series of Fighting, and we're not sure if that's going to happen or not. So right now, I'm definitely taking Carla in the co-main event. I hope that they have a good fight that kind of grabs some attention for her that she deserves, because she's kind of in that position where she's not getting a lot of attention right now. So I definitely hope that they have a good fight on Saturday evening. Then we have Johnny Hendricks and Matt Brown. This fight is interesting, obviously because of both guys are heavy hitters who put people out. I expect Hendricks to get the win here, just because he has more ways he can win that fight. He can knock Brown out, but he can also score a score takedowns for 2 or 3 rounds and kind of hold Brown in position. This is an important fight for Brown to prove that he deserves to be amongst that group because he was rising in contention. He was becoming a cult favorite. Then he got stopped. He lost to Robbie Lawler, which didn't really knock out a whole lot of steam of him, but he just definitely wants to prove that he can continue hanging with the best. Then we have Alistair Overeem and Roy Nelson at heavyweight, and I think that this is a fight in which the loser is going to get cut from the promotion. Overeem's been a big disappointment since being brought over to UFC, and Roy Nelson just can't get past like the upper echelon. He's definitely like a gatekeeper within the heavyweight division, but I just think that this is a point where the UFC could jettison either one of those two guys. I'm going to take Nelson in this fight because I just think that he is going to be able to push his style a little bit more on Overeem. He's not going to sit back and wait for Overeem to put together combinations or land big knees. He's going to stay in his face, looking to land his haymaker right hand that has put down a lot of guys. Um, and plus, if he gets this fight down to the ground, his jiu-jitsu game is definitely high level, and a lot of people don't even recognize that. So I'm going to take Nelson to win that fight there. Then we have a lightweight fight that a lot of people may be overlooking, but I'm looking forward to seeing in Sam Stout and Ross Pearson. Uh, Sam Stout's another one of those guys who I think is definitely at the end of his career, and Ross Pearson's one who's just hanging around as a lightweight in the top 10 to 15. So it's a good opportunity for him to put on a big win here and prove that he deserves to be within that group. I'm taking Pearson to win that fight there too. Darren Cruikshank against Benil Dariush. I'm going to take Cruikshank in that fight there. Just obviously, I hope this guy pulls off a highlight style win. He's always put in that position to where he can put out, he can knock somebody out cleanly and kind of get the fans excited. So I hope he comes through here and definitely does what he's supposed to do. Sergio Pettis is moving on to flyweight to take on Ryan Benoit. I'm you know I hope that they pump the brakes on Pettis, just because he shares the last name as a lightweight champion doesn't mean that they need to push him in the same way. He's definitely a good fighter. I think that loss to Alex Caceres was good for him, and because he was definitely winning that fight, but he kind of fell apart there at the end. So I definitely think that was a good loss for him. I'm looking forward to seeing how he looks in the fight. I don't. It's definitely not too early. Excuse me. It's definitely too early to be losing faith in him. But I'm still just interested in seeing how he looks going forward. We have Henry Cejudo trying to drop down to 125 as well. I hope he makes weight because if he doesn't, then he's going to be put in a bad position fighting at bantamweight. But he's fighting against Chris Carriazo, former title challenger. So let's see what Henry does because if even in his last fight, he didn't use his wrestling, which was interesting because he kind of stuck to. He wanted to show everybody that he could fight in a different way too. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he continues doing that or if he employs that gold medal wrestling win needed against Carriazo. I'm looking at him at 125, man. He's gonna be a tough out for anybody. So I definitely hope that he looks good in this fight. But the biggest thing is I hope he makes weight because he's struggling to make weight way too many times. Jared Rosho against Josh Copeland. Yeah, Rosho was another one of those heavyweight contenders or heavyweight prospects that everybody had their eyes on. Then he was stopped in his last fight viciously too, man. He got knocked the hell out. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of start building his way back up. I'm working on a piece for him about his fighting style, and I haven't done the research yet, but I'm interested in seeing what I find. But he's probably going to be he's definitely my pick in this heavyweight fight here. Joseph Duffy against Jake Lindsay. I'm going to go with Duffy in this fight here too. I'm interested in seeing what both of these guys bring into the cage. They're two fairly unknown guys, so let's see who kind of makes a name for himself here. And then you got the pretty boy Elias Theodorou. Obviously, I'm going to take him just because of the hair. He looked good in his last two fights. I'm definitely wondering what this guy is really going to be about in the octagon, but he's someone who has some good potential as well. Then nice opening up with Duran Geronimi against the Rustis Pacheco in a bantamweight women's bantamweight fight. So we have a lot to look forward to this weekend. I'm interested in seeing what the numbers were from UFC 184. I have not looked into that yet, but we're going to have a. I wonder when's the last time when two UFC numbered pay-per-views have followed each other so closely? Because I can't think of the last time when that happened, but this is definitely one of those weekends, and I think this is probably one of the better cards that they've offered all year from top to bottom. So it's a good event that is worth watching, and I just hope fight fans can tune in and catch all of the violence that'll be coming up. So we're back. I just take a few minutes to kind of look around the MMA world a little bit more, and there really has not been a lot of news that's come out from the sport this past week. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about what we have coming up on MMA ratings this week. Obviously, we'll have a couple of pieces leading into UFC 185 from myself, Adam Martin, and the crew. We'll be talking about some of the bigger name fights and also some of the minor card fights. I think that's something that we do very well. Excuse me. At MMA Ratings, we focus on the whole card, not just the main event. So be sure to check out our site, MMARatings.net. Follow us on Twitter, MMA and follow us all on Twitter as well. I'm R Garcia underscore sports. You can follow Michael Ford, Tanner Martin, and Nathan Carter as well, and catch all of our work there. But again, be sure to check out the site, rate the fight, and again, this is Raphael Garcia Signing off for another week of MMA Ratings.net, the podcast. We'll be back next weekend to talk about the results of UFC 185 and everything else going on in the sport. Have a great weekend, everybody.